day, students. I'm Teacher Lee. Welcome to Meravit Education Center. Last time, we have talked about photosynthesis, where plants make their own food. But do you know how this food, water, and other nutrients being transported in plants? That's what we are going to find out in this episode, the transport system in plants. But before that, let's get familiar with these vocabulary words.
Can you say them with me? Great! 1. Xylem. 2. Phloem. 3. Sieve tube. 4. Sieve plate. 5. Companion cells. 6. Vessel. 7. Zinc cell. 8. Vascular bundle. And 9. Transpiration. To begin with, let's have a refresher course about the basic parts of a plant. Do you still remember what are those? Well, plant is a living thing that grows in the earth that has a stem, leaf, root, and flower. But remember, not all plants are flowering. Let's take a look at them and their functions one by one. Root. The roots keep the plants anchored to the ground, absorbs water and other minerals from the soil, and are also used as food storage of a plant. Next is the stem. The stem allows the water and other nutrients from the roots to move throughout the plant, as well as makes food from leaves to roots and act as food storage, where this food and water pass through the tube-like tissues called xylem and phloem. Another part of a plant is the leaf. Leaves make food through photosynthesis and a site for gas exchange such as carbon dioxide and oxygen. They can store food too. And last but not the least is the flower. The flower is said to be the most beautiful part of the plant. This contains the sexual organs of a flowering plant, which is also responsible for seed development and reproduction, and it attracts insects for pollination. Okay then, let's have a recap. What are the parts of a plant? That's awesome! The 4 basic parts are the root, stem, leaf, and flower. But the question is, which part of a plant that the transport system takes place? The transport system in plants occurs through the vascular tissues found in the stem, and this is not far from the circulatory system of mammals. These tissues perform certain functions necessary for plants' survival. So, what are those tube-like tissues called? You are right! These vascular tissues are called xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are complex tissues that perform the transportation of water as well as other minerals and food substances in plants, where these tissues are arranged in groups to form the so-called vascular bundle. Now, let's take a closer look at each tissue. Xylem is a specialized type of vascular tissue that transports water and other minerals from the roots to the leaves. There are no end walls in it between cells, and it is made up of hollow and dead cells. How about phloem? Phloem is another type of vascular tissue that performs the transport system of food and other nutrients, such as glucose and amino acids, from the leaves around the plant. Phloem is composed of several cell types, such as sclerenchyma, parenchyma, sieve elements, and companion cells. Alright, here's how the transport system in a plant works. In the xylem vessel, the water pulls up from the roots to the leaves, as well as the water evaporates from the surface of the cells in the leaves by transpiration. The source cells load up sucrose into companion cells, enters to the seed tube, and reduces other water potentials. So, the water is taken up from the xylem vessel by osmosis, raising the pressure potential in the seed tube. Where these internal pressure differences drive the phloem sap along the seed tube to the zinc cells. The sucrose is then unloaded at the zinc end cells and increases the water potential in the seed tube. Then the water recirculates from the phloem back to the xylem vessel.
In other words, xylem vessels transport water and minerals from the roots to the other parts of the plant, whereas phloem vessels transport food from the leaves around the plant. I hope you learned something in this episode, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye!